Hey, this is Pastor Dave, and this is your Monday Mojo, recorded on a Sunday night. Hope you had a great week. I'm recording this tonight in the dark because I want to talk about something that happened, about a week ago. Most of us experienced it. But to do that, I want to start off by telling you a story about cheesecake. When I was in seminary, yes, seminary, so in my 20s, a group of people said, hey, why don't we go down to the Lexington Tea and Coffee Company? Because I really would like to get some cheesecake. And I was like, well, coffee sounds good, but okay, cheesecake, all right, cool, yeah, let's do it. So we went to the Lexington Tea and Coffee Company, and they ordered an Oreo cheesecake, and it came back, and it was like this thick. And I was like, what is that? And they said, what do you mean, what is that? It's cheesecake. And I was like, no, it's not. And they said, yeah, it is. And they said, would you like some? And I took a bite, and I was like, that is not cheesecake. I said, yes, it is. The reason I said that was because my mom used to make cheesecake all the time for me when I was a kid growing up. Jello brand box cheesecake. If you know what it is, you know what I'm talking about. It was good, but it wasn't cheesecake. It was crazy how much of a difference there was. And the cheesecake was so good. Now, I love making cheesecakes myself. I say all that because last Monday I sat at the track, and we were there for the celebration of the total lunar eclipse of the moon. And uh, I sat there, and as the eclipse began, it started to get a little, it started to block the sun, but you couldn't see that, but you could feel it. The light in the place got different. It just felt different, and the temperature started to drop. And I literally sat there on the grandstands at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and I wept, began to cry. Let me tell you why. What I realized is there are people in this world, and you may be one of them, and I hope you just listen, who live as though Jesus was just another person. And in doing so, they live in a world that is filled with less light than it could be. And that's all they know. It's normal. It's what seems right. It's like me and cheesecake. That's all I knew was this Jello brand cheesecake. I didn't know the fullness of cheesecake. And I sat there crying because I thought, there's so much more to this life. There's so much light. There's so much warmth. There's so much more glow that you can experience in this life when you know who Jesus is and what he's all about. I want to do everything I can to make sure people know that there is a light that glows inside me, that radiates inside me, that warms me, that makes life worth living, that is more than just kind of half light. Now, here's the interesting thing, too, I noticed. As the sun was being unblocked, it was interesting. Just about 1% of the sun being unblocked brought all the light back. It doesn't take a whole lot of light to light the place. So that gives me hope because, I fumble around trying to tell this story of Jesus, but if I just share a little bit of the light that he's got in my life, and you do the same, it can light the world, and it can be an indication of what it could be like. And then you get to really share what life with Jesus is really like. So I'm sitting here in the dark tonight trying to tell you that story, and I hope it's helpful, and I hope you have a great week. That's your Monday Mojo.